Snarks and Snarkers. I'm Lainey, and this is W-EMU, reading the Reddit like it matters most. And tonight, we have a tell straight from the late-stage capitalism playbook. Yes, we are talking about Taylor Swift, the ethical billionaire with a coupon book for every soul she has milked dry. It appears our pastel martyr has finally purchased her own music. Cue the tiny violins, or better yet, the overpriced vinyl variants with custom fonts designed to give you an ocular migraine. In a letter posted in what might as well be wingdings and unicorn farts, Swift announced that all her music is now hers. Every single era. Which sounds touching if you've been in a coma since 2012. She wrote, and I quote, "Oh, the music I ever made now belongs to me." And all I can think was, sweetie, you just asked your fans to make you rich enough to buy back your own music so you can once again sell it to us, and we're supposed to be very happy? And when asked about Reputation TV, Taylor says she hasn't even recorded a quarter of it, allegedly, because it's too emotional. Let's go on to Baz and see what's happening outside with the Redditors at the Taylor Swift.
Thanks, Lainey. We're here outside of our Travis and Taylor, and it does not look good. Disillusioned fans are burning vinyl, eyeliner, and their previously unwavering belief that she was somehow different from the others. Let's hear from the trenches. Cinderella Bitch calls it the biggest grift in recent pop history. Ranch Snack Rat, who was next to them, adds, "I bet this will bring forth a new legion of fans turned haters." And you know what? Honestly, Lainey, I will believe that one when I see it, given the history of this fan base. Papa the Dragon said this isn't about empowerment, it's brand control, it's PR warfare. It's one woman cosplaying as a victim while she cashes six-figure checks off bootleg nostalgia. So, back to you, Lainey.
Well, Baz, first of all, if they think she's only cashing six-figure checks, I've got a math lesson for them. But back in my day, when you swindled your fans, at least you had the decency to hide it behind a metaphor. As many commenters have said, she is, in fact, the late-stage capitalism queen. To sum it all up, she weaponized nostalgia, monetized martyrdom, and sold it back to the same fans that she claimed to protect. And somewhere out there, a Swiftie just ordered debut TV, magenta to clear, clock-shaped vinyl. Coming up on W-EMU, Baz investigates whether Rep TV was ever real or just another Loch Ness monster siding out in a sea of confetti and emotional bait. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm 14. I've never been on a date, but I have been in 6 Reddit arguments, and my mom says I'm very mature for my age. So when your boyfriend doesn't text you back for like 12 minutes, that means he's cheating, obviously. You need to send a 47-paragraph message to demand he explain what he was doing in 1996. Or, and hear me out, make a burner account. Message his mom. Get answers. You followed my advice. Now you're single, banned from 3 subreddits, and somehow owe $600 in DoorDash charges. Your cat hates you, your ex is thriving, you've got a framed screenshot of you up, and you are not.
You trusted someone whose biggest life decision was, which Mountain Dew flavor to chug on Twitch? That's not advice. That's a cry for help building a follower count. Well, join the potluck and put the jello on the buffet while we join the OG of polyamory. Guys, we got ourselves a psychological wildfire burning over in the SisterWives land. This week's tell-all recap wasn't just a car crash. It was a spiritual demolition derby with Robin behind the wheel and Cody riding shotgun in full white knight cosplay. Let me set the scene. Our hero Cody, clad in emotional armor forged from fragile masculinity and overused hair product, turns to Robin and asks, "Is there anything I can do to protect you from this?" Which on the surface seems sweet, until you realize that this man has spent the past 10 seasons trying to cast himself as Aragorn when he's really more like Gollum with a perm. Robin's reply, "No, God will protect me." Which sounds pious until you realize she basically smacked his ego with a rolled-up Book of Mormon. Ouch! That has got to hurt. It's the kind of spiritual judo move that leaves Cody fumbling to feel relevant, because let's be real, he wasn't offering protection. He was fishing for validation. And she tossed that bait right back into the holy pond. Right now, we're going to go to Baz, who's live outside with the Our SisterWives subreddit, getting reactions from the Robin mob. Baz.
Well, Lainey, it does not look good at all. The Reddit streets are flooded with truth bombs. Illustrious Bird 9234 said, "Robin worships but doesn't love, and she doesn't even worship anymore." So, we're watching the tail end of a religious cosplay romance unravel in HD, and this subreddit is dishing out the popcorn and the usual absolutely brutal commentary. BiscuitBoy967 was saying, the TLDR, Robin didn't want this mess. She wanted to be seen. Now she's stuck with a guy who burned every bridge and expects applause for holding the matches. Lainey, out here, everyone agrees. Robin sucks, Cody sucks, and they're not even trying to hide it anymore. Cody screaming at Suki like a child mid-Batman mobile was sold out tantrum did not go over well with the crowd out here in the Our SisterWives. Back to you in the studio.
It is all unraveling Baz. The Evelyn father-sanctioned marriage, the pretend persecution arc, the shiny hair. Every piece of this story is buckling under the weight of its own fake sincerity. Now, who could have seen that coming? Coming up next, Baz investigates the underground Reddit movement to crown Janelle the next polygamous pope. Skin and Balls queso dip and a vengeance playlist. Guys, you're not going to want to miss this. Stay tuned.
Ever looked at something so confusing, so baffling, you just had to ask? Make it make sense.
Now you can. Introducing Make It Make Sense, the only device guaranteed to untangle the spaghetti in your brain. Got a puzzle? A mystery? A Reddit thread more tangled than your headphone wire?
It makes it make sense, like magic. Or, well, science. Probably science.
How does it work? It's simple. You just press this button and
poof.
Clarity.
Make it make sense. No need to pretend. From chaos to order, it's your best friend. Make it make sense. Don't break your head. Plug in the device and move ahead. Make it make sense. Because sometimes you gotta ask.
Welcome back to W-EMU, where I tell you how to feel, and you feel it. Our next story comes from a couple who recently experienced a shocking display of usury by some friends over dinner. Let me set the scene, shall I? 2 couples decide to go out. One couple is broke. The other couple generously offers to pick up the tab. a small one. These broke friends, let's call them the Leeches, first asked to be covered for a meal because they were short on cash. No problem. Our couple agrees to cover $50 for them. But once they arrive, a snack of finger foods in the park turns into a fancy restaurant dinner. The Leeches go straight for the pricey drinks and the most expensive items on the menu. Seriously, how do you even live with yourself after that? The grand total for the night, over $300. That's right, $300 for what was supposed to be a casual meal with friends. And what do they do next? The Leech duo adds insult to injury by throwing some attitude at the fiancé, who was, of course, paying for everything. Now, if you're wondering whether they've learned their lesson, they haven't. So the real question here is, were the paying couple right to feel so disrespected, or are they just blowing this all out of proportion? Let's send this over to Baz for a quick rundown outside the subreddit Am I the Asshole, where we'll hear from some Redditors on the scene. Baz?
Thanks, Lainey. It does not look good. This story may as well be a repost on the front page of Life, a story so commonly repeated that it bears repeating again. We heard someone asking, if they're your friends, why couldn't you say, hey, whoa, let's not go wild with what we're ordering here. We had planned to spend X amount on dinner tonight. But as we all know, when you tell someone they are literally taking money from you, you have violated their boundaries and end up ghosted like Patrick Swayze in the 90s. Another voice in the crowd was heard saying that if they're embarrassed about their own behavior, it's not your job to protect their egos. People are calling this what it is, a textbook case of friends taking advantage of a nice, generous offer. One user said these people are not your friends, they are leeches, which begs the question, do real leeches have friends in the wild? Some have said that you should have asked for the money back. Don't let them get away with this, while others are saying consider the money a one-time payment to get them out of your lives for good. I think we know which one I say go for, Lainey. These friends need to be dropped into the night deposit of the nearest Goodwill along with the remains of the eras coming to an end. Either way, folks, the consensus is clear. These friends aren't your friends. Time to cut ties and keep those wallets closed. But consider the emotional cost of dealing with the financial Colin Robinsons of the world. Back to you, Lainey.
Ooh, what a mess. It's like they ordered the high-end drinks and meals while expecting a free ride and then had the audacity to throw shade at the fiancé. Whoosh, that, my friends, is greed with a side of greasy, cheesy ranch fries. But hey, here's a fun little takeaway. Never assume friends will respect your boundaries, especially when it comes to food and money. Coming up next, we've got a bizarre Reddit story that will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about nasal spray. But first, a quick reminder, don't let anyone eat your lunch and then insult you for it.
I'm a Reddit power mod. I control 78 subs. I wake up angry. I just banned someone for posting a circle and a square meme in our geometry. You asked why you were banned? That's Rule 12, subsection H. Questioning moderation decisions is a bannable offense. Mods are volunteers with unchecked power.
Tired of playing 4D chess with unstable moderators? You need the Deal With It plan. Covers sudden removal of posts for tone. Includes Rule 0 clause, which is a retroactive ban removal from any sub. This isn't a debate sub protection, even when it is a debate sub. Full indemnity from mods who lock the thread, then reply to you last. Immunity to shadow bans. Maybe.
I just created a new rule while you were reading that. It's recursive. You broke it retroactively. You're banned.
Don't argue. Just deal with it. With the Deal With It plan.
Remember, I don't need a reason. I am the reason.
Deal With It plan.
Because logic is optional.
Well. Another Am I the Asshole from the emotional wreckage of failed marriages. This time, it's a father who, after over 16 years of marital bliss with Martha, says no thanks to her birthday request. And why? Because Martha spent 3 years emotionally cheating on him, leaving him to fend off her endless complaints. And now she wants a family day with the kids on her birthday. What a surprise. She actually wanted him to make a family day happen because nothing says happy family day like their divorce, right? The kids, not so much. They're too busy living their best lives away from the emotional dumpster fire that is Martha. The dad, well, he's stuck in the I'm not the doormat phase. It is cruel. Is it cruel? Not at all. It's called boundaries, darling. And Martha, she's getting a crash course in the consequences of cheating 101. And her sister, she's just the cherry on top, defending the cheater as if that'll work. I mean, good luck with that. Right now we have Baz on location outside our AITA getting reactions from the commenters on the ground. Baz.
Thanks, Lainey. It does not look good. Here's the thing. Martha's been living in fantasy land for years, but when it came to reality, she found herself all alone wondering why her ex isn't putting the family back together. Newsflash, Martha, it's not 1995, and family day isn't a magic fix. And guess what? The kids, they don't want to be there either. I heard shouted from the rooftops earlier that she could have easily planned a birthday day when it was her turn with the kids, but instead she came knocking on Dad's door. We spoke with Mission Specific 5283 and told us that she needs to figure it out herself. If the kids don't want her, that's not on him. This is her actions, not the kids' schedules. Finally, Shut Up and Play Ball told me she's the one who destroyed the family. Don't blame him for sticking to his guns. He has zero obligation to give her any more attention. She's learning the hard way that the consequences of her actions, well, they stick. Back to you, Lainey.
Thanks, Baz. So there you have it, folks. A reminder that actions do in fact have consequences. Martha didn't just lose her husband. She lost her kids, her credibility, and any hope of being the family matriarch. Hey, no worries, right? She got her soulmate. Am I right? Anywho, stay tuned for our next segment. How to tell your ex that you're not sorry for leaving them. It's easy when you've had enough. See you in the next disaster. Are you tired of karma farming? Reposts that make you want to scream, moderators who act like they're running the FBI, endless hot takes that feel like nails on a chalkboard?
It's like, why is everyone yelling? And why do they keep posting the same damn meme? I mean, come on!
You need the fuck outside. The only prescription strength cure for your internet-induced rage. Oh, honey, you're so mad about Reddit. It's adorable. Here's a little medicine for that. Go outside. Yes, outside, people don't argue about reposts, but instead argue over who forgot to mow the lawn. You're a terrible Redditor, and nobody's gonna love your post, so go out and get some fresh air. Side effects may include actual human interaction, fresh perspectives, and suddenly realizing most Reddit arguments don't matter.
Why didn't I think of that?
Maybe because you've been indoors arguing about karma farming since 2008, silly.
The fuck outside. Because sometimes the best cure is just a little fresh air.
Oh, good. It's another feel-good wedding story. That's what I was hoping for today, that we'd finally get one story where no one is drunk, disowning family members, or spiritually combusting in a parking lot. And then I read this. Let me set the table for you. And I hope you brought some paper plates because things are about to get messy. A bride's big day. Her father is giving the father of the bride speech. Everyone's gathered, tissues in hand, just waiting for the heartfelt moment. And then he announces with the same deadpan grace as an airline delay that he's divorcing the bride's mother. No, this isn't a joke, not a vague metaphor, a full-out legal declaration at the mic. At his daughter's wedding. And here I thought proposing to someone at someone else's wedding was bad, but this is like strapping dynamite to the champagne tower. The bride was reportedly brittle, refusing to acknowledge the chaos. The groom and the groomsmen had to break up a screaming match in the parking lot. Aunt E was crying at the wedding table. Uncle Jay was holding court at bar like he was the drunken patriarch of a prestige drama. He's not. And now, just pause for our hero of the hour, the poster's dad. Widowed, quiet, unassuming, texts like he's a Victorian butler. This man shows up, hunts down gossip like it's his civic duty, and then goes full James Bond when someone insults his dead wife. And then he checks in from the bathroom because men of his generation never talk trash out in the open. They relay intelligence, privately, like gentlemen. You were supposed to be funny, damn it. Well, let's go to Baz, who's on location at our wedding shaming, where I assume someone is now selling popcorn. Baz.
Thanks, Lainey. It does not look good. This is what Reddit is calling the nuclear dad speech, and the fallout is heavy. Oak Religion at 1356 called the dad a national treasure, which is a sentiment we've heard a lot on the streets out here. And we've heard many ask if they were sure that Martin Short and Steve Martin were not at the wedding. And it's the father. He is the legitimate legend. And the man didn't just attend the wedding. He live texted it like he was embedded in the front line. Every bathroom break was a new dispatch. Every sip of wine was a signal flare. Lainey, the comment section is officially petitioning to make him the gossip correspondent of Reddit. And when Uncle Jay insulted him, Dad didn't fight. He left with dignity. Then retroactively edited the story to include a tuxedo and a roundhouse kick. That is what we call delayed emotional justice. James Bond, he had arthritis and impeccable manners. Back to you, Lainey.
Well, folks, that's our show for tonight. Come back next time when Baz goes undercover at R. Travis and Taylor, where apparently you can get hexed for saying midnight is mid. Love ya. Bye-bye. This Friday on The Band and the Banished, the subreddit wedding is off after Kyle finds out his fiance's flare was removed for karma farming.
And Declan's identical mod clone, not so identical. He's been shadow banning users in their sleep.
Meanwhile, Robin returns from Permaban Island with a shocking announcement. She's pregnant. With a repost?
And the family lawyer, turns out he was an auto mod filter all along.
It's betrayal. It's upvotes. It's emotionally manipulative, and we'll be watching.
Like, subscribe, and share, because nothing says romance like a good old thread lock.
Coming this Friday to W-EMU, The Band and the Banished. Bring tissues and bring flair.